riot. It was not a riot. It was an insurrection, because when you have people who are armed, the Klan was there, they were armed, they were serious. They did not want that one black at their school. And the reason why they did not want him there, one of them said, is because if blacks and whites start going to school together, they would start dating, and then we would have mixed race children, and according to him, they would be Mongos. They wouldn't even be whole. They would be messed up. But anyway, he did go to the school. Of course, John F. Kennedy and his brother Robert Kennedy actually had to send the military down to put down the insurrection. And another man also unfortunately died that day. But when my uncle went to class the next day, it looked like a war zone, and the people who lived there now, I remember, said to them it was a war zone, because you could see where bullet holes, you could see the debris everywhere, glass. And then the military actually stayed there for a while. And I met one lady in the audience in January who told me that that the kids in the high school took advantage of the military being there, and they did things that they would never have done before, like to drink out the water fountain that said for whites only and things like that. They had them a good time because the military was there. They did things that they should have been able to do anyway.
They called them the Freedom Riders,
Yeah. Yes. And so the other significant thing that my uncle did was, of course, let me back up. The day that he graduated from Ole Miss, which was August 18, 1963, the federal government told him that he was going to have to leave the state of Mississippi because they couldn't protect him anymore, and he was on the Klan's hit list. Now, being on the Klan's hit list is dangerous. Of course, you know, while he was a student, they assassinated his friend, Medgar Evers. That was in June of '63. And so that August, he left and he moved his family. He had one child, a son. I think he might have been going on 4 at that time, and his first wife. They moved to Nigeria, and he stayed in Nigeria for long enough to get a master's degree in economics, and then he came back to America, but he did not come back to his home state. He moved to New York and enrolled in Columbia University Law School. Well, while he was in law school, he decided to come back to his home state to encourage black men to set aside their fear of the white power structure by walking up Highway 51. Well, the first day that he went through, he started off in Memphis, and my cousin's husband told me that he drove him to the Tennessee-Mississippi state line, and there waiting on him were men who lived in the Memphis area or the Memphis suburb. It was 16 men. He didn't want women or children walking because he felt that in 1966 it was still dangerous to walk the highways, so it was just men. Well, the next day they made it to Mississippi, and they spent the night outside of Hernando, Mississippi. And by then there were a few men with him, but some of the people in Memphis had gone back to Memphis, and then there were other men that were supposed to join them up ahead when they got to the end of the county. Well, he said that he went downtown Hernando and started talking to black men about registering to vote, and that they were so scared for him to even talk to them about registering to vote. This is 1966. Because there were white men across the street, they were literally trembling. Well, after talking to them, they started back walking up 51, and not too far along, as they were walking, a man named James Novell, who was from Memphis, just happened to look up. He was bird hunting and see them walking, and he got excited, and he went to the road and he told everybody, everybody step aside. I don't want nobody but James Meredith. And people, it was a few people with him, they just kind of scattered. And he, my uncle said that he was unarmed, which was a mistake to walk through Mississippi unarmed. But he was shot. And so they stopped what it was called the Meredith Walk Against Fear. Of course, at that time, everybody who was walking with him, they were on their own, using their own resources to walk. And it turns out that this ends up being the last leg of the civil rights era, the last massive march, because the five leaders of the five biggest civil rights organizations came to my uncle's bed in Memphis, Tennessee, and that would be Martin Luther King, Stokely Carmichael, James Farmer, and some of the others, and told them they wanted to resume the walk and complete it. And he agreed, and they asked him three things. They asked him, who did he want to be in charge? And he said, Martin Luther King. And they asked him, what did he think about Stokely Carmichael using the Black Power slogan? And he said he thought that would be fine for him to use the Black Power slogan. Of course, not everybody there was in agreement with that. And also, when they came, this Meredith Walk Against Fear became the Meredith March Against Fear. And people donated money to the march, and some of the donors did not want Stokely Carmichael to use the Black Power slogan. They felt that it was controversial and it would be offensive to whites there. But of course, Stokely Carmichael, being Stokely Carmichael, he used it, and it became, the media picked it up when he used it in Greenwood, Mississippi, Black Power, and he excited the crowd there, and it just spread like fire. It went